Daniel, a tricycle driver from Cavite, was ready to call it a day. It was a rainy Friday night, and he had been on the road since 6 in the morning. Exhaustion was a heavy blanket on his shoulders. The rain was coming down in sheets, turning the streetlights into blurry streaks of gold against the wet, dark asphalt. As he neared the old cemetery in Barangay Selenis, he saw her, a woman, draped in a long white dress, stood motionless under a flickering streetlight. She held a black umbrella, a dark silhouette against the stormy night. She didn't wave or call out. She just stared. Something about her stillness sent a shiver down Daniel's spine, but affair was affair. He slowed his tricycle to a crawl. "Suke po, ma'am, saham po kat," he shouted over the downpour. The woman simply nodded once and climbed into the sidecar. She moved without a sound, a phantom slipping into his world. Rain dripped from her umbrella, a soft, rhythmic tapping on the metal roof. Her face was obscured by a curtain of wet, dark hair. Daniel, trying to be polite, asked again, "San poteo, ma'am?" "Silence." The only reply was the faint, sweet scent of sampaguita flowers filling the small space. It was a strong, cloying fragrance, strangely out of place in the rain-soaked night. He figured she was probably heading to the main road, a common drop-off point, so he put the tricycle in gear and started driving into the gloom. A few minutes passed, the engine whining against the storm. Daniel's eyes flicked to the small, cracked mirror attached to his handlebar. He wanted to check on his quiet passenger. He saw the rain-streaked interior of the sidecar, the wet vinyl seat. But the woman wasn't there. Her reflection was gone. Hustan, empty glistening space. Daniel's heart jumped into his throat. He blinked hard, blaming the rain, the dim light, his own tired eyes. It had to be a trick of the light. He risked a second glance. Still nothing. Just an empty seat in the mirror. Panic flared in his chest. He slammed on the brakes, the tricycle skidding on the slick road. "Ma'am," he called out, his voice trembling. No answer. He whipped his head around to look directly into the sidecar, and she was there, sitting perfectly still, as if she had never moved. Her head began to turn toward him, a slow, deliberate motion that felt like an eternity. And then he saw her eyes. They weren't just dark, they were voids, two pools of pure, endless blackness that seemed to pull the light from the air. That was it. Daniel didn't think Ehust acted. He slammed his foot on the gas, and the small engine screamed in protest. He tore through the dark, rain-swept streets, his heart hammering against his ribs, so loud it drowned out the storm. He didn't look in the mirror. He didn't dare turn his head. Ehust drove, focusing on the sliver of road ahead, praying for it to end. Then he felt it. A cold breath on his neck, and a whisper, so close it felt like it was inside his own head. "You passed my stop." His eyes darted to the sidecar. It was empty. The seat was bare. He looked up at the sky. The rain had stopped. The clouds were breaking. And yet, inside the sidecar, the black umbrella she had been holding was still dripping onto the floor. Tap, tap, tap. The next morning, the rising sun cast a pale light on a strange scene. Daniel's tricycle was found parked neatly in front of the cemetery gate. Its engine was still running, humming softly in the quiet morning air. But Daniel was gone. Vanished. The only things left behind were his rosary, hanging from the handlebar, soaked through with rainwater, and a single black umbrella lying on the ground beside it. They say in Cavite, some stories never really end. The locals will warn you. If you find yourself driving past that old cemetery late at night, and a sudden rain begins to fall, you might see her, a woman in a long white dress, standing under that same flickering streetlight. And if you're wise, you'll keep driving. Because if you don't stop to pick her up, she'll find another way to ride with you. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next descent into the unknown. Stay safe out there.